Good morning, everyone. Today we're talking with
Jaarbarun.
Jaarbarun.
Yeah, that's my tribal name.
Yeah.
And the colonial name is Luke.
Okay.
Hi sir, how are you? My name's Rob Robertson. I'm with Crown Lands, New South Wales. That's my identification. It says I'm an authorised officer. Also present with me is Craig Wood, who's also an authorised officer from Crown Land, and a number of police officers are here at our request to prevent any potential breach of the peace.
Yeah, do you guys know that? Did you guys read the sign?
So we're here.
Do you understand that I'm in a ceremony? My name is Jaarbarun Luke. All right, 1788, you guys come here, your system come here, committed treason, highest crime of the Constitution. You hold no validity on this continent. This is 𝑦𝒂𝒂𝒓𝒂𝒓 country. I'm a bloodline descendant. All right, I'm a tribal bloodline descendant. You are taking part in ethnic cleansing. Who invited you guys out here?
Okay. So Jaarbarun, can you tell us a little bit about the significance of your connection with the land here today?
Yeah, firstly, I'll just acknowledge the jargon that we speak from. Jingila, Jaarbarun, 𝑦𝒂𝒂𝒓𝒂𝒓𝒂𝒓𝒂𝒓𝒂𝒓𝒂𝒓𝒂𝒓𝒂𝒓𝒂𝒓𝒂𝒓𝒂𝒓𝒂𝒓 means in my language, hello, my name's Jaarbarun, and this is 𝑦𝒂𝒂𝒓𝒂𝒓𝒂𝒓𝒂𝒓 jargon, and we belong to the country. And I pay my respects to my elders and my ancestors, and acknowledge the other 300 plus nations on this continent, and I pay my respects to the elders and the ancestors that walk with us. I also extend my respects to our forefathers and our ancestors, and to all the I guess in layman's terms, the non-original brothers and sisters that we have now here living in this significant place that call this continent home as well. And we want to say welcome to you all, and this is the very very historical times now where we get to formally unite once and for all, start working together, living together, and being one.
And what's your connection with the land in this area?
So, obviously being of original bloodline descendant, my heritage and lineage goes back from the very beginning to this jargon that we speak and that we gather on today. Again, jargon means country. I like to speak my language when I'm talking, and my connection is the genetic bloodline connection to the country itself, the flora, the fauna, the animals, the waterways. We are a race that is connected to all living things, and in saying that, we are connected to every civilization as well.
And you've been living on this land here at Lennox Heads, and there's been some resistance and pressure for you to move from this land?
Taking part in a gathering, assembly or a meeting, causing or
You are telling me to stop practicing my culture.
No, I'm not telling you to stop practicing your
You
culture.
are. Yes, you
I'm
are.
telling you there are certain things you cannot do on this pastoral.
No, there is. I'm practicing culture.
Yep. Again,
there is a law in your constitution that says we have a right to practice culture out on our country.
Yeah, and that may well be the case. All
right, you guys, you need to become more acquainted with it.
If you're exercising your native title right,
it's not got nothing to do with any government system. It's a fraud.
That's fine.
You're built on fraud.
As I said, there's 6 things there that tells you can't do them and they must stop immediately. The final thing
I don't recognise your paperwork. They are rebutted and refuted.
That's fine.
All right, I don't take them. I do not consent. They are going straight on the fire.
Is a field stop activity order. Okay, this is an order issued under Section 9.19 of the Crown Land Management Act. Okay, and it requires you to stop a couple of unlawful activities. One is residing on Crown land. The other is erecting structures on Crown land or interfering with any substance forming part of Crown land. That means you can't dig. Okay. The order here requires you by 5 p.m. on 30th of June to stop residing on Crown land, to remove all of the structures that we see here today, okay, and to cease interfering with any substance on Crown land.
Yeah, so I came out here on the 19th of January 2022. So I've been here for roughly a year and a half. I've had the authorities come out twice in the 3 times over the period of the year and a half. One recently being only a week ago, and they had come out here to, I guess, try and assert some authority and serve paperwork to give me direction orders. Yeah, I mean, I do have the video content of that. If you want to attach it, whatnot, up to you guys. But yeah, I mean, they just come out to try and be belligerent and I guess once again take part in treason and genocide.
And what are you hoping might be achieved from here?
Well, I guess as I'm very acquainted with the system, the first thing that I've done was rebut and refute all assumptions and allegations made in their fraudulent documents. They've been sent off. But in terms of what I would like to do moving forward is in terms of elevating, you know, it's is to be as belligerent as these guys are, and I mean, and not in terms of wanting to go to war with these people, you know. I only ever want to walk and do things in honesty, respect, truth, and honour, you know, and do it with integrity. So my motive is not to you know, shape up to these guys and start a fight against them, you know. Protection is my biggest thing, and you know, protection for us all is what is paramount and what I care about more than anything else. So on their legal side of things, you know, just give them what needs to be done and served, and then, you know, I guess I open up the invitation to invite people to come out and take part in a ceremony at the end of June, which is the date that they had given me to be off country and to have structures down. And reality is though I've served them paperwork back in November last year, and they dismissed it or didn't compute with them. They didn't recognise it. So you know, that's more or less of what I'm doing now. You know, I know that their paperwork holds no validity, and yeah, I'm not here to go back and forth with the system. I'm here because I want legitimate change and real change, you know, and I'm here to stand my ground and to do what's right.
To honour your spirit and the spirits of those before you.
Absolutely, yeah. You know, it's it's not a choice. It's an obligation. You know, as the people of this great continent, it's a privilege to be a part of it, not a right. You know, and we all have a responsibility to uphold, and that's to take care and look after the land, and be a part of nature. You know, not apart from nature, to being one with your surroundings. You know, being connected rather than disconnected, as we've all become. You know, and to do what I'm doing and to stand up to this system is in full honour of my ancestors and forefathers, Anzacs. You know, and I believe it's a requirement from us all right now to stand up and do what's right. You know, and I mean, a lot of people have different perspectives on what they think is right and the way that they go about doing things. I know. You know, within the last 3 years, just evaluating, being part of different things. But the change we primarily seek doesn't come from democracy. It ain't going to come from signing petitions or attending protests. You know, the change comes from the tangible things and actually just doing it. You know, taking it back, moving the fear from your mind to, you know, from being fearful to becoming fearless. You know, those are the things that have the superior control over our actions and what we do on a day-to-day basis. And if we can remove those fearful thoughts and stand in our absolute truth, you know, and to reiterate on what I was saying before, by not wanting to incite any form of violence or put anyone at risk of being hurt, our biggest weapon is the truth. You know, the truth cannot be denied, the truth cannot be refuted. The truth hasn't been refuted by this illegal governing body. So if we all come together and stand in our absolute truth, that is the superior protection that we need. You know, that's the superior protection that will allow us to all walk forward as one.
We're hearing a lot of push from the government about the voice, and I wondered if you would like to share your perspectives around that.
Yeah, I think, you know, the voice to me just spells disaster from what I understand about it, from just a little bit of research that I've done within it. But yeah, I mean, it's a status quo tokenism gesture from this fictitious government that will supersede our sovereignty, and to supersede our sovereignty is given the superior control to this system, which then allows them to, I guess, do whatever it is they have, you know, to finish the agenda that they started. You know, if you look at the native titles, and I mean, I guess the truth is that in terms of Aboriginal affairs, what is any Aboriginal organisation that's been established from this illegal governing body done for the original people? You know, I can talk on stats that ever since the introduction of native title, we have had our land raped and pillaged a lot more. Ever since the introductions of land councils, more of our people have become homeless. Ever since the introduction of Aboriginal legal services, more of our people have been in courts, more of our people have been incarcerated. Ever since the introduction of child protection, more of our people are being taken away. Now, statistically, 22,000 people are in child protection, and 18,000 of those kids are of Aboriginal descent. 25% of the prison system is of original bloodline people. We are 3.3% of the population. Overrepresentation in the prison system. And this, the law that we are persecuted under is a law that doesn't recognise the original people. So you have to ask yourself the question, what allows them to do it? How are they able to continue doing what they do?
Thank you for chatting with us today, and for being a person that's ready to stand and hold their truth.
Thank you guys. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.